You deserve more, ladies and gentlemen. You deserve more than you're settling for. Read that again. Let it echo through every corner of your mind, because somewhere along the way, you stopped asking for more. You stopped dreaming bigger. You stopped believing that your life could explode into something extraordinary. But here's the truth. You were not born for an average life. You were not designed to shrink just so the world feels more comfortable around you. There is a fire inside you that you've been dimming, hiding, burying, but it's still there, waiting, burning, refusing to die out. You deserve more than broken promises, half-efforts, and one-sided relationships. You deserve more than jobs that drain you, people who minimize you, and fears that paralyze you. You deserve more than repeating the same routine day after day, wondering when life is going to change, when life has been whispering to you all along. You must be the one to change it. Stop settling. Stop accepting less than what your soul screams for. Stop acting like you are powerless in your own story. Look at your life. Look at everything you've survived. Every heartbreak, every setback, every disappointment that tried to break you. You're still standing. That alone proves your strength. That alone proves your potential. But potential means nothing if you refuse to claim it. You deserve a career that ignites you, not exhausts you. You deserve friends who celebrate your growth, not those who feel threatened by it. You deserve a love that chooses you, supports you, and believes in the future you're building. You deserve peace. You deserve joy. You deserve opportunity. You deserve a life that makes you excited to wake up in the morning, not one that makes you pray for more sleep. And no, wanting more doesn't make you greedy. It makes you awake. It makes you hungry. It makes you worthy. The moment you stop settling, your standards rise. Your energy shifts. Your path clears. Your mind sharpens. Your heart strengthens. Your life transforms. And yes, it will feel uncomfortable. Growth always does. It will require courage. It will require sacrifice. It will require you to walk away from old habits, old doubts, old versions of yourself. But the price of staying where you are is far more painful than the cost of becoming who you're meant to be. So today, right now, make yourself a promise. I will no longer settle for less than I deserve. Say it again. Louder. I will no longer settle. I will rise. I will claim my vision. I will demand more from life because I am more. You owe it to the little kid inside you who believed anything was possible. You owe it to the older version of you who fought to keep you alive. You owe it to the future version of you who is waiting on the other side of your courage. This is your turning point. This is your awakening. Stop living small. There comes a moment in life when you finally see it. The truth you've been avoiding, denying, running from. You've been living smaller than your potential. You've been dimming your own brilliance. You've been accepting crumbs when you deserve the whole table. And deep down, you know it. You know you have a bigger purpose. You know there's a version of you that's stronger, sharper, more disciplined, more focused. A version of you that isn't afraid to want more. But you've been postponing that version, telling yourself, one day, while life keeps whispering, why not today? You deserve more than fear-driven decisions, more than surviving, more than pretending you're okay with fine when everything inside you is begging for phenomenal. Stop letting temporary comfort destroy permanent potential. Stop giving up on dreams just because they demand effort. Stop letting the world convince you that your desires are unrealistic, when the truth is that your silence is what makes them impossible. You were not created to blend in. You were not meant to settle into the background of your own life. You were built to stand out, to disrupt, to evolve, to rebuild yourself again and again until you become someone your past self would barely recognize. Not out of shame, but out of pride. Listen to that voice inside you, the one that whispers, "I want more." That isn't greed. That is alignment. That is your soul remembering what you're capable of. You deserve relationships that pour into you, not drain you. You deserve opportunities that challenge you, not cage you. You deserve goals that scare you in the best way, because fear is a signal. This is where you grow. And yes, walking into a bigger life requires something from you. It requires boundaries. It requires self-respect. It requires saying no to things that once felt good but no longer feel right. It requires letting go of versions of yourself that fit your past but shrink your future. But here's the part you forget. You don't need permission to evolve. You don't need applause to begin. You don't need perfection to start. All you need is the courage to say, "I'm done settling." Because the moment you decide that the bare minimum is no longer acceptable, everything around you begins to shift. Your energy changes. Your circle changes. Your habits change. Your expectations rise. And with that rise, your life rises too. Your dreams are not accidents. Your desires are not random. They are a preview of the life that could be yours. If you're willing to stop negotiating your worth, you deserve more than the version of life you've been tolerating. You deserve more than comfort zones disguised as safety. You deserve more than routines that numb you. This is your reminder. You are not stuck. You are not too late. You are not unworthy. You are powerful beyond measure. You are capable beyond belief. And your next chapter, it begins the moment you choose yourself, fully, boldly, unapologetically. So stand tall, lift your chin, adjust your crown, become who you were meant to be. There's a moment in everyone's life when they finally look in the mirror and see the truth they've ignored for far too long. You are not who you could be. Not yet. You've been carrying dreams you never chased. You've been holding potential you never used. You've been living in a world that teaches you to accept less when something inside you is screaming for more. And maybe you've convinced yourself you're okay, but deep down, you feel it. A quiet disappointment, a subtle ache, a knowing that you were meant for a life bigger than the one you're currently living. But here is your awakening. You can become someone you never thought possible. You can rewrite your story, starting today. You can rise into a version of yourself that terrifies your doubts and silences your fears. The world has conditioned you to stay small, to blend in, to avoid risks, to settle for a predictable life, even when your spirit is begging for something extraordinary. But you weren't made for ordinary. You weren't made for quiet dreams or watered-down goals. You were made to rise, to stretch, to expand, to surprise yourself. You deserve a life that feels like purpose, a life that feels like passion, a life that feels like you. And that life begins the moment you stop negotiating your worth and start honoring your potential. No more shrinking to make others comfortable. No more apologizing for your ambition. No more pretending you don't want things you were born to have. You deserve opportunities that match your talent. You deserve goals that match your capacity. You deserve a life that matches your destiny, but you will never experience it if you keep holding on to the habits that belong to the version of you who settled. Growth demands discomfort. Change requires courage. Transformation asks a price, but it gives you everything in return. You are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to outgrow people, places, and patterns. You are allowed to want a life that makes you feel alive again. Stop thinking small. Stop playing safe. Stop acting like you are powerless. You are not powerless. You are powerful beyond measure. You are capable of rebuilding every part of your life from the ground up. Mindset, habits, environment, dreams, identity. But first, you must believe that you deserve the life you imagine, more than the life you tolerate. This is your turning point. This is your new beginning. This is the version of you that rises, the version of you that refuses to settle, the version of you that demands more, the version of you that chooses growth over comfort, purpose over fear, potential over excuses. So take a breath, stand tall, look at the road ahead. Your future is not waiting for permission. Your greatness is not waiting for approval. Your next chapter is not waiting for a perfect moment. It's waiting for you. The life you want is possible. The person you want to become is real. And the moment you decide to stop settling, everything changes. Raise your standard. There comes a time when life demands something from you, something more than survival, something more than routine, something more than staying exactly where you are. It demands that you raise your standard, because the truth is this: you don't get what you wish for. You don't get what you hope for. You don't even get what you deserve. You get what you accept. And for too long, you've accepted things that were beneath your potential. You've tolerated situations that drained your spirit. You've settled for environments that kept you small. You've stayed loyal to habits that sabotaged your growth. Not because you're weak, but because you forgot who you are. So let me remind you, you are not average. You are not background scenery. You are not meant to fade into the noise of the world. You have dreams that were placed inside you for a reason. Dreams that demand you stop settling. Dreams that require you to rise into someone stronger, more focused, more disciplined, more determined. This is your wake-up call. Stop begging for permission to become the person you were meant to be. Stop lowering your standards just so people can stay comfortable around you. Stop shrinking your goals because others lack the courage to pursue theirs. You deserve a life that reflects your strength, not your fears. You deserve goals that stretch you, not cages that contain you. You deserve relationships that support your growth, not ones that benefit from your silence. You deserve peace, passion, purpose, but you must stop accepting chaos, doubt, and limitations. Raise your standard. Raise your expectations. Raise the level of what you demand from yourself and your life. Because every time you raise your standard, something extraordinary happens. Your life begins to align. Opportunities shift toward you. People treat you differently. The world reacts to your energy with respect instead of hesitation. But standards must be backed by action. You can't say you want a better life and keep repeating the behaviors that built the one you're trying to escape. You can't say you deserve more and then cling to the comfort of what feels familiar. You can't imagine a great life while living with small habits. A powerful future requires powerful choices. So choose discipline over distraction. Choose courage over fear. Choose growth over comfort. Choose the life you want over the excuses that keep you locked in the life you don't. Because here's the truth most people avoid. Your life will only change when you change. Not someday. Not when you feel ready. Not when things magically fall into place. Now. Now is the moment you stop waiting. Now is the moment you stop settling. Now is the moment you raise your standard and refuse to lower it again. This world will not hand you greatness. You must rise to meet it. And you can. You will. Because you're not done. You're not finished. And you are nowhere near your limit. This is your time. Your chapter. Your turning point. Stop playing small with your own life. There's a reason you feel restless, a reason you feel unsatisfied, a reason you catch yourself staring at the ceiling at night thinking, is this it? Is this really all I'm meant for? That's not doubt. That's not weakness. That's not you being ungrateful. That feeling is your soul trying to wake you up. It's the part of you that knows you are playing small. You have dreams inside you that terrify you, and instead of chasing them, you've been negotiating with your potential, settling, shrinking, postponing the life that's meant for you. Listen carefully. You were not born to live a watered-down version of yourself. You weren't born to sit in the background, to silence your own fire, to watch other people live boldly while you talk yourself out of everything you want. You are not meant to be a spectator in your own life. You are meant to be the one who builds it, shapes it, transforms it. Stop living like you're running out of second chances. Stop living like you're waiting for a sign. Stop living like your dreams are optional. They're not optional. They are calling you. And every time you ignore them, a part of you fades a little more. You deserve a life that excites you, a life that makes your heart beat faster, a life that stretches you, challenges you, grows you. But you will never reach that life by holding on to the limitations that belong to your past. Your future requires a stronger version of you, a braver version of you, a version of you who refuses to settle for good enough when greatness is within reach. You have survived things that would have broken others. You have rebuilt yourself after storms that should have ended you. You have risen again and again, and yet you still underestimate your own strength. Why? Because settling became comfortable. Playing small became familiar, and familiar feels safe. But safe will never take you where you're meant to go. You deserve to take up space. You deserve to speak your truth. You deserve to choose yourself even when others don't understand. You deserve to build a life that reflects your worth, not your wounds. So let me speak to the part of you that's tired of pretending. It's time. Time to stop living beneath your potential. Time to stop letting fear make your decisions. Time to stop believing the lie that this is all there is. It's time to step into your greatness. Not tomorrow, not when it feels convenient, but now, while your heart is beating and your vision is burning. There is a version of you waiting on the other side of courage. A version that is powerful, grounded, fearless, unstoppable. A version that refuses to settle. A version that demands more. A version that becomes more That version is not a fantasy. It's not a dream. It's not a someday. It's you. It has always been you. You just stopped believing it. But today, right now, everything changes. You are done playing small. You are done settling for scraps. You are done letting fear write your story. From this moment forward, you rise, you reach, you expand, you demand better. You claim the life that is yours. The moment you decide you're done settling, there comes a defining moment in every person's life. A moment that hits you so hard, you can't ignore it anymore. A moment when you stop and think, I deserve better than this. I deserve a life that actually feels like mine. And that moment is the moment everything changes. Because the truth is, you've been surviving. You've been enduring. You've been doing just enough to get by. Not because you're incapable of more, but because you've been carrying yourself through life with the weight of old wounds, old fears, old limitations. And somewhere along the way, you convinced yourself that this version of life was all you could have. But listen closely. You have barely touched your potential. You haven't even scratched the surface of who you could become. You have been settling for routines that numb you, settling for people who don't see your value, settling for dreams that don't challenge you, settling for ceilings you're more than capable of breaking through. You deserve a life that reflects your strength, not your insecurities. A life that reflects your ambition, not your fears. A life that reflects your power, not your past. And it all begins with one decision. The decision to stop accepting less than what your soul was built for. Stop settling for comfort over calling. Stop settling for distractions over discipline. Stop settling for temporary highs that rob you of long-term greatness. Your future self is begging you to wake up, begging you to take your life seriously, begging you to honor your potential instead of hiding from it. Because every time you settle, you break a promise to the person you're meant to become, and the world loses out on the power you were supposed to bring into it. You were not put on this earth to play small. You were not designed to move through life quietly. You were built with fire, wired with purpose, born with potential so massive that even you struggle to comprehend it. But it's there, burning beneath the surface, waiting for the moment you finally say, enough. Enough of shrinking, enough of settling, enough of living in the shadows of what-ifs and almosts. You deserve to become someone you're proud of. You deserve to pursue the dreams that scare you. You deserve to create a life that makes you feel alive. And the life you're dreaming of, it's not far away. It's one decision away, one moment of courage away. When you raise your standards, your life rises with them. When you decide you're done settling, the universe moves out of your way. When you claim your worth, your world rearranges itself around that truth. So consider this your turning point, your awakening, your shift in identity. From this moment forward, you are no longer the person who settles. You are the person who rises. You are the person who chooses courage over comfort. You are the person who demands more from yourself, from your life, from your future. This is your time. This is your moment. This is where everything changes. You were made for more than surviving. There's a point in life when you finally realize something powerful, something life-changing. You weren't meant just to survive. You were meant to live, to thrive, to rise. But somewhere along the way, survival became your default setting. You got used to doing just enough to get by. You got used to routines that drained your spirit. You got used to giving all your energy away and saving none for yourself. And slowly, quietly, you started accepting a life that was far too small for your potential. But deep inside you, there is a voice that refuses to die out, a voice that whispers, "This isn't your whole story. You were meant for more." That voice is your truth, your calling, your purpose begging for oxygen. And the only reason you feel unfulfilled, unsatisfied, restless, is because your soul knows you're settling for a life beneath your capabilities. You deserve a life that sets your heart on fire. You deserve mornings filled with excitement, not dread. You deserve relationships that uplift you, not drain you. You deserve opportunities that match your power, not your fears. You deserve dreams that challenge you to become someone stronger, braver, more unstoppable. But the life you deserve will never appear while you keep accepting the life that's slowly suffocating you. You must choose. You must decide. Because transformation doesn't happen when you feel ready. It happens when you're tired of staying the same. And you should be tired. Tired of doubting yourself. Tired of holding yourself back. Tired of believing you're not enough when everything about you says otherwise. You have survived storms that would have destroyed weaker people. You have rebuilt yourself from ashes more times than you admit. You have carried weight that no one even sees. You think that's coincidence? No, that's strength. That's resilience. That's evidence that you are capable of so much more. But potential means nothing without action. Dreams mean nothing without courage. Power means nothing if you're too afraid to use it. So let this be your shift, your turning point, your moment where you draw a line in the sand and declare, "I refuse to settle. I refuse to shrink. I refuse to live a life that doesn't honor my worth." Raise your standards. Raise your vision. Raise your belief in who you can become. Because the moment you decide that good enough is no longer acceptable, your entire world begins to change. Your energy changes. Your focus sharpens. Your goals evolve. And suddenly, the things you once thought were out of reach become stepping stones instead of obstacles. You have greatness inside you waiting to be unleashed. Not someday, not when life gets easier, not when the timing is perfect. Now, right now, in this exact moment, you don't need permission. You don't need validation. You don't need someone to tell you you're worthy. You already are. You just need to believe it. Act like it. Live like it. Because you weren't born to fade. You weren't born to be invisible. You weren't born to settle. You were born to rise, to shine, to conquer. And the life you dream of, the life you can feel in your bones, is waiting for one thing: for you to finally step into the version of yourself who refuses to settle for anything less than extraordinary.